Whoever said there's no glory in death?
They're gone! The ruby slippers! What have you done with them?
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 dramatic movie deaths.
They tore my legs off and they threw them over there. Then they took my chest out and they threw it over there.
These are the cinema deaths that offered up heavy doses of anguish and theatrics rolled into one, whether through brilliant dialogue or terrific visuals.
Oh, no. Shoot that piece of chip.
No.
Just to be clear, we're considering both good and bad characters. However, we're excluding children's demises and the deaths of stop-motion animated characters. Oh yeah, and you probably guessed it, but spoiler alert.
You better get it up. I'm gonna have to kill you.
Number 10, Roy Batty, Blade Runner. Although we get a series of sci-fi packed action sequences leading up to this movie's climax, it's the mesmerizing monologue that captivates us most.
Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it?
Though he's the cold and calculating replicant baddie for the entirety of the film, Roy saves Deckard's life, and then expresses to his enemy his sadness about the fact that all the memories he's acquired will be lost.
All those moments will be lost in time.
Roy Batty then bows his head and passes on, right after dramatically letting a dove fly free.
Put his finger at me. Oh, shit. Come on now. Hey, Pops. Come on now.
Number 9, Walt Kowalski, Gran Torino.
Mr. Kowalski, that's my name.
Walt's a resentful widower who's angry his community is being overrun by Asian immigrants.
Damn barbarians.
However, he eventually comes to care for his neighbors, learning the true value of friendship.
And you're a good man.
I'm not a good man.
With a gang of thugs terrorizing his district, Walt steps up to confront them.
Kinda jumpy, aren't we?
Due to his reputation as an angry gun-wielding crank, we expect him to pull a piece on the bad guys. But no.
Me? I've got a light.
He gives us some classic Eastwood grilling before sacrificing himself for the good of his friends by letting himself be shot in cold blood. Number 8, Randall McMurphy, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
I'm a goddamn marvel of modern science.
Mac is a criminal who's accepted a stint in a mental institution to avoid real jail time. But he ultimately pumps new energy into the lives of his glum fellow patients.
You're no crazier than the average asshole out walking around on the streets, and that's it.
However, with the oppressive Nurse Ratched around, his tomfoolery is soon halted by way of a lobotomy.
He said you escaped.
The patient known as the Chief can't bear to see the empty shell of his friend silenced and broken. So he decides to do him a kindness and puts Mac out of his misery. Number 7, The Wicked Witch of the West, The Wizard of Oz. Witches are a bitch to kill.
Here, Scarecrow! Wanna play ball?
After terrorizing them through Oz, the Wicked Witch of the West comes face to face with Dorothy and friends in a climactic final showdown.
How about a little fire, Scarecrow?
Dorothy works on pure instinct when the witch sets her companion the Scarecrow on fire, tossing a nearby bucket of water over him.
You cursed brat! Look what you've done!
In her haste, Dorothy accidentally soaks the witch, which is ironically the easiest way to end her rule of terror.
Who would have thought a good little girl like you could destroy my beautiful wickedness?
The slow melting and agonized screams make this death extra dramatic.
Oh, what a world! What a world!
What a world indeed.
Ah, look out! Look out! I'm going!
I told you, man. I told you. Don't with me.
Number 6, Tony Montana, Scarface.
Tony Montana! You with me. You with the man.
When his home and ultimately the drug empire he has created are breached, Tony Montana, also known as Scarface, is cornered in his office.
You wanna f with me? Okay.
Scrambling to protect himself the only way he knows how, Tony blasts his way out of captivity with some cinematic charm.
Say hello to my little friend!
But this can only end one way for Scarface. Although he's hit by hails of gunfire and stays standing, Tony is ultimately finished off by a shotgun blast to the back. Number 5. Darth Vader, Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Throughout the majority of the Star Wars saga, Darth Vader is without a doubt the evil one.
Only now, at the end, do you understand?
However, when his son Luke Skywalker ends up locked in battle against him and the equally villainous Emperor Palpatine, Vader's paternal instinct finally kicks in. While getting his hands dirty by defeating the Emperor himself, Vader incurs fatal wounds.
Luke, help me take this mask off.
But you'll die.
But before he succumbs, the man once known as Anakin is able to have a final father-son chat with Luke.
You're coming with me. I'll not leave you here. I've got to save you.
You already have.
Number 4. Marion Crane, Psycho. Fugitive office worker Marion Crane decides to stop over for a night in the Bates Motel, and to cleanse herself of her crime, she hops in the shower. However, when the jealous persona of Norman Bates' mother gets a hold of her, things go a little crazy. Aside from being violent and visually stunning, this dramatic movie death is accompanied by one of the most spine-chilling soundtracks ever, with each slice of the blade punctuated by ear-piercing violin.
Wreck him!
Number 3. William Wallace, Braveheart. After fighting for the liberation of the Scots and making many enemies in the process, William Wallace is finally captured and put on display. With Braveheart laid out crucifix style for the whole town to see, crowds gather to watch as he's tortured into begging for mercy.
Just say it. Mercy.
However, with his last ounce of determination and passion, he chooses not to give in and instead proclaims loudly and proudly what he believes in. But his dramatic final declaration does not save him from the executioner's blade.
Couldn't be mine! It should be mine! Give it to me!
Number 2. Boromir, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. This Fellowship member allowed the One Ring's dark power to consume him, almost leading him to snatch it from the hobbit Frodo. To restore himself in the eyes of his friends, Boromir attempts to save the Fellowship from the deadly and grueling battle with the Uruk-hai. And that's when an arrow finds his chest. With the sound fading and the action slowing, we feel as Boromir begins to slip away. Breathing his last breaths, the hero has a heart-to-heart with Aragorn before being given an appropriate send-off.
My king. Peace. Son of Gondor.
Before we say goodbye to our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
gun down now.
God damn you, Joe. Don't make me do this.
Larry, stop pointing that f***ing gun at my dad! Where the hell are you going?
Down by the river, about 100 meters.
Number 1. Sergeant Elias, Platoon.
Shoot anything that moves.
Elias is the soldier most likely to do the right thing.
Hey, can I go with you? No. I move faster alone.
But his reputation for moral strength ultimately leads to his demise. Nervous that Elias's testimony will see him court-martialed for an illegal murder, Sergeant Barnes ruthlessly guns him down to cover his tracks. Making his downfall even more dramatic is Elias's last-ditch attempt at survival. With his platoon fleeing, Elias runs towards them, stumbling as he's sprayed with bullets from pursuing soldiers. Punctuated by slow motion and dramatic music, Elias finally throws his hands up and succumbs. Do you agree with our list?
You fooled them. You fooled them all.
Which movie death did you think was the most dramatic?
And that's all that's left of the Wicked Witch of the East.
For more spectacular top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Time to die.